Jana jana kidonga. Kidongo ka tanyanya. Alota alanyata. Anta paracha na Ethiopia tare wana. Geller gagiria. Nyeke chaka mera ye picha ke za wintai. Itai telimagina ipe bere ngani bere.
It has just rained in Rupa sub-county in Karamoja's Moroto district. The ground is soft and there's water to wash the soil for gold. For this group of young women and girls, it means a chance to join the gold mining business, an opportunity to provide for their families and to ultimately get themselves out of poverty. Karamoja is said to have more than 50 different minerals. Gold, limestone and marble are among the minerals that are most frequently extracted. This industry has become one of the main sources of livelihood for people here. At this hard rock gold mine in Amudat district, Oscar tries his luck, 300 feet under the ground.
I'm doing this thing because I feel like at least it's a bit comfortable. I earn some little money. For survival though, it's very risky, but I feel like I shouldn't do for the rest of my life.
Most Karamojong make a living out of livestock herding or pastoralism. However, the recent decline in livestock numbers has forced large numbers of people to extract a living from small-scale mining. The experience of Lotte here embodies a rare success story at the Lolung gold mine in Moroto. For mines such as this one, the interaction between supplementary livelihoods and pastoralism comes clear. Environmental concerns may mean these opportunities are indeed problematic to pastoralism itself.
On the environment, I think basically what we know is that those pits are not backfilled where people mine from, and one of the effects that it has caused us, the loss of cattle. Sometimes maybe when people are herding, they fall into those pits and that is it.
We should be keen even for pastoral areas. I think it is important for us to look at the mining sector and it will impact on rangeland pastoralism.
You go to any area where mining is taking place, you see total destruction of the environment. You know, when you are mining these big stones, remember these stones are, some of them are under trees, under thickets of the bushes. But they destroy all those and the place is just left there. You go to Rupa where they are mining gold, you find dishes and dishes, open dishes, that normally even animals fall in. Even human beings at times, especially children, fall in as they try because they can't maneuver.
I remember one day it buried like three children. Some were there half. They died, was buried.
Amam nga takin torong akranga. Pite ba yepite kuya. Wadi chatolodi. Ngeke toacha otukutukuye. Agalar ba janke tolo etubete ngkiri na kadang. Ekerita ngkiri na ngkito ngulu apa nga tubarta ngkito yo apolo ko ngete iralua. Ngito yo ngkito ngulu chengulu ala ka ngulu ngime yana ngulu. Dikintere me yera ba dara ka mo. Ayane tubari anje ko ne me yanga nyakana na yete. Anamuru ekerta itu bana ngkito lu ko tin. Bate nyala moni. Ay dana ngapanya. Ane elimokini gogo ngako jongoro ba kitibu ngito lu apolo ko ane ni reali kitani ne yang amur to kuri yakata ne ba wa ya dawro mo e peter ko na renyi chekato.
As these problems and losses continue to grow and threaten the natural order of the ranges, a more deadly threat in the sector flourishes in the gold mines. Mercury.
One of them is that the communities don't realize that even the wounds that they have that don't heal, are actually a sign of cancer. And this cancer is through the mercury.
I don't understand deeply about it. I don't know the effect. But I'm saying we are using.
Looking at its side effects in all angles. Because it's affecting the animals. Animals are dying because this very water. Remember they do at Sino. They wash within the river belts. And this is the very water that is consumed.
The issue of mercury is quite very significant and very critical to the livelihoods of mining communities, not only in Uganda but across the globe. But Uganda is one of those countries that has been identified as a country that uses a lot of mercury in gold extraction. We are partnering with the National Environment Authority to undertake a country mapping of mercury use in gold extraction. As far as Karamoja is concerned, areas of Moroto are a bit safer because gold is not really extracted using mercury. But areas of Nakapitipirit and areas of Amudat, we've discovered that is mercury use significantly, which, as we all know, has a serious impact on the livelihoods of mining communities. Not only the miners directly that interface with mercury, but also the communities that are eating the foods, they're consuming the water, which water is to a large extent contaminated with mercury.
No matter the methods, gold extraction needs large quantities of water. If there are no rains and no permanent water source nearby, the gold disappears and miners go hungry. There is agreement by stakeholders that there is indeed an influx of investors in Karamoja. By the end of 2018, 100 licenses had been issued by the Directorate of Geological Survey and Mines at the Ministry of Energy and Mineral Development. But companies, especially Tororo Cement Limited, continue to pay very low amounts in wages to the artisanal miners. At the same time, it accumulates reserves to maintain leverage over communities. At its Moroto mine, a ton or 1,000 kilograms of limestone goes for as high as 3,000 Uganda shillings. This is the price of one newspaper or 2 kilograms of maize flour.
Mining is something which is a bit complex. I see the people that really do the mining are not benefiting as such.
20 years down the road, we cannot see anything tangible from the mining sector. Tororo is here, it has been mining for about 20 years now, but you go to Tororo, you will still find the very common man the way they found it. They are still as poor as they are.
That small tipper, that carries around 7 tons. We sell it at 120. Then again, when you take a calculation, you find that you don't get any profits.
First of all, there is little bargaining power here. The reason being, these mothers who do at Sino mining, they charge them how much a basin of just sand dug out of those pits. I think 5,000 or 8,000. It's around 8,000. These mothers have to go and struggle. First of all, sometimes they even exchange to buy this sand. They come with it. Remember, it's not easy to get gold out of that sand just like that. So we reached a level where one time when interacted with them, that for you to get mercury, just a small bottle, they exchange it with sex.
Sex for mercury, a dangerous combination. The mines are in every way a very risky place for women. They do so much for so little in a hazardous environment.
Akipanya yo ya akipanya nyi kilo ko pedo no ta do kana mam nye pedo to ngabera do karto me wo ya no di yene bogeta kilo ka nye bunya igru ki churu nga kipi arono ngode ni arugere koro ni po
Companies in Karamoja failed to respect the limited legal safeguards around land and minerals in Uganda. Uganda's legal framework remains vague and inadequate. It also fails to guarantee the rights and participation of local communities and authorities around issues of land rights and mineral rights.
We as a sub-county and probably as a district are not yet benefiting from the local revenue from this mining. Reason being, we are not aware of the mining companies that are doing the mining. Most of them have a prospecting license. They are still doing exploration. But of course, they are also doing the what? The mining.
The whole thing is because of speculation. People are getting, they know there is such a mineral like here, they get a license over it and they sit on it. And this has actually constrained potential investors because when they come, you have to go a series of brokers. Hima wanted to put a factory. Tororo has a license. Moroto Cement has a license. I think got a license there. But some of these companies are briefcase companies. They don't have the resources to put up a factory. You find people using different companies, use this one, and then you renew again, then you renew again. They keep paying little these fees that they are supposed to pay. They continue paying those fees to hold the license, speculating, waiting for someone who will come and ask for billions to pay them. First of all, the minerals don't belong to them. The land doesn't belong to them. Those surface rights, people are licensed everywhere. People are busy looking for minerals. The issue is, how is that managed? How is that process managed? How are people's rights protected? People's rights to land, surface rights, access rights, user rights, ownership rights. All of that, how are they protected and embedded in the law? Those rights must be protected at any point if they want to make use of that land. The law is very clear. As in some areas, people must be consulted.
The right to consultation has been violated in all processes related to acquisition of mineral rights in Karamoja. This licensing regime has become an ideal playground for speculators, enabling them to easily assert their interests, claiming communal property and acquiring private titles. In 2010, Peter Modoi, an assistant commissioner at the Office of the Prime Minister, baffled the region by acquiring private title of 500 acres of land in Karamoja's Napak district. This land at Kautako village was then transferred to the Uganda Investment Authority for the construction of an industrial park. Karamoja Development Forum in a 2015 report cited political influence peddling, manipulation of communities, and bribery in the acquisition. In 2012, Feronia and Pro Solutions Limited acquired an estimated 23,000 acres of mineral-rich communal land in Moruita in Nakapiripirit district. Each acre was sold for roughly 20,000 shillings each. Abuse of power, bribery, forgery of land board documents, threats and intimidation have been cited in this case. In 2014, Peter Lokwang, a Moroto businessman, acquired a private land title over about 60 square kilometers of land in Lopei, Napak. A speculative move targeting infrastructural projects and extractive activity in the region. We have found that fraud, manipulation, bribery, and political complicity enabled this process. In 2018, Moroto Ateke Cement tried to access 443 acres of community land in Rupa and Katikekile sub-counties in Moroto, showing a private land title. The move was to avail land for a joint venture with Savannah Minerals Limited and Uganda Development Corporation. The community managed to prevent this access. Moroto Ateker Cement continues to hold this title deed. This forced the company to seek land elsewhere in December 2018, in what became another controversial acquisition on 221 acres of land in Nadunget sub-county in Moroto district. This case was enabled by elite brokerage, threats, and deception. According to a study carried out by the Center for Basic Research, political elite are acquiring private ownership of communal lands across 6 sub-counties between 2014 and 2018 in Kabong district. This is a massive land grab in progress. In 2016, a battle for rights over a granite rock in Nabilatuk district emerged between Welt Machinen, Nakapiripirit district local government, and the Chinese road and bridge construction. The High Court awarded Welt Machinen 23 billion in compensation.
That small pit actually summarizes the problems pastoralism and mineral extraction in Karamoja is potentially a threat to define ownership over communal properties, over communal grazing areas, and whether it can be actually attributed to one individual or to a community, and the benefits go to either the individual or the community. That's actually a summary of how aggressive different actors and predatory in this kind of sector.
Karamojong began mining right away from 1980. And from 1980 to date, although there is an influx of the so-called investors into the region, but locally in the 80s, it was the local people who were mining on their own. But after, I think in the 90s, is when there was an influx of investors.
Most of the land in Karamoja is owned and used communally. A practice consisted with mobile livestock keeping. For those seeking supplementary livelihoods in mining, have to face the entry of companies. Companies have the backing of government throughout the course of their activities.
The coming of an investor, it affected our activity because the time when they arrived around here, they started stopping the community from breaking around. Good enough we had a memorandum of understanding. We also stood up and say, this is something we agreed upon. So we cannot stop breaking stones around there. To some extent also, they try to use the armed forces. But we say no. Those forces is to protect the people with their properties and we're basing on the law.
He's talking about Dao Mabo Limited. Dao Mabo acquired mining rights in 2014, setting up a factory in Kampala and in Moroto. It paid nothing in compensation to communities for land ownership rights and didn't meet its end of the bargain in an MOU. Through target advertising, it soon gained a high profile in the market, got capital from several Ugandan investors, and closed its operations in Moroto in 2017. Industry insiders claim this was an act of fraud. Dao Mabo products ended up in Kampala and Mombasa, where they are traded on international markets like Alibaba for substantial amounts of money. For example, this 10 cubic meter block of marble goes for up to $22,500. Like 3 other companies before it, Dao Mabo once entered with the support of the military. But its factory in Moroto is now deserted, lies in waste, with banks and local investors trying to get whatever they can recover from what's left.
It's been demonstrated internationally that mining and arms and security forces, are something that any serious economy needs to move away from.
There are some communities in Karamoja that have already benefited from having access to information and organizing themselves to benefit from extractive activities in the region.
The mining sector is one of those that could drastically change the outlook and the situation of the Karamojong, especially when you look at its relative poor ranking in terms of every human development indicator that is possible. Karamojong need to have their rights to extractives, which is their rights to royalties, their rights to surface compensation, their rights to a cleaner and a fairer environment. And this has not been the case in the last 20 years of mining activity in Karamoja.
Despite these challenges related to mining sector in Karamoja, community leaders, district officials, and people are still hopeful. They call upon responsible agencies for more awareness, regulation, and protection of land rights within their communal land tenure system.
If government, if sub-counties and district could also strengthen the bylaws from the sub-county, ordinance from the district, they should also strengthen those policies so that we are able to educate our young children for future.
The communities in the entire Karamoja, entire region, have to be organized into groups. They have to organize themselves into groups so that they can be able, honestly, to engage with these investors legally.
We should start from the people themselves. We must strengthen local institutions. In the case of Karamoja, there are traditional institutions. There are clans who own these lands. There is no land which is free. And that's the misconception Ugandans have sometimes when going through Karamoja. They look at it open areas and they think that nobody has been there. Some people have been displaced because of insecurity. Now after the disarmament process and peace returns, people are going back to their own lands.
As the children of Abura continue to dream, mining activity continues unhindered and unregulated. The costs continue to pile up and basic human rights continue to be violated. On these white blocks of marble destined for export, their quest for formal education and love of country is inscribed. Like a mother removes thorns in the feet of their child, will government plug the holes in the policy legislation and implementation to protect the future of these children? At Namalu Trading Center, Karamoja's main exit point for these minerals, it is a normal day. Dozens of trucks, maybe even 100, today will leave the region with limestone and marble, destined for factories and markets. Dust, for now, is the only thing that surely remains.